in the wake of the shock of impermanence, and we're human, we're warm-blooded creatures, some of us. We like to huddle amongst each other. We like to work with groups in the face of impermanence. With the phenomena of the economy, for example, people are becoming more aware of the impermanence of money. They're going to huddle more. You're going to see this kind of huddling, more gatherings that are not economically defined. They're going to be more socially defined. Fourth Circuit, socially defined. Third Circuit is more tied in with economics because it involves a symbol, identification with a symbol. And anything where the consciousness is identifying with a symbol, working with statistics, numbers, and symbols, this is more kind of on that Third Circuit intellectual level of grasping what's real and what's not. The other wonderful thing about increasing your social intelligence for those people who are like terminally shy or just are becoming misanthropic because you figure that's your only option is to hate people. Is this wonderful thing about people is that your behavior is unpredictable. To some extent it's predictable, but there is a significant unpredictability factor in the way people react to stuff. This alone, if you can find ways to allow the manifestation of others, meaning their reactions, allow their reactions, I mean, without taking it personally, without thinking it's your reaction or your business. So you cultivate in your consciousness here a capacity for permitting on more unpredictability and certain kinds of characteristics that aren't social, but you can apply to non-social or asocial domains. We can learn it amongst each other as people. We can learn it by allowing each other to be. We can learn it by encouraging each other to be our most extreme selves, to come out and be who you are, to encourage that. This is a process, that's would be a really socially intelligent person. The person for whom other people are magnetized to because they can be themselves more around that person. That's a socially intelligent person. People who can allow you to be more of who you are. Your personality comes out around them. That would be a socially intelligent person. So to cultivate that capacity to allow other people to come out more, and also for you to come out more with who you are, this is where the social interaction takes place. This is what happens. This is how it works. And I'm saying that that capacity can be applied to non-social or asocial domains. And in particular, the Eighth Circuit, when you're dealing with entities that are not warm-blooded, but can exhibit their own weird personality characteristics, in their own ways. Extraterrestrial. That's another word for Eighth Circuit. Extraterrestrial, beyond the body. Okay, so real quickly I want to just go by some examples of how you might induce some shock in your lives if you want to encourage some change, do it on purpose. There's all kinds of events that can bring about, if not imprint vulnerability, something approaching imprint vulnerability. On the First Circuit level, fasting. Of course, I'm not going to recommend any particular fast, I'm just going to say fasting. Sleep deprivation. Duh. Illness. Have you discover when you're really down sick for like a few days or a week, certain things become more flexible in your consciousness, are not so set. You might be able to introduce a few directions if you play your cards right when you're sick. That is, if you don't have an anti-sick bias and keep complaining that you're sick, because that will just make it worse. I used to hate being sick. I just like the worst, you know, but I still don't like it, but you know, why make a bad thing worse? That's a talent I don't want. Also, any move of residence or eviction, you know, anything that sincerely uproots you is going to put you in a place of physical instability, and you can, you know, if you move to a new town or a new place, it is like starting over. It is genuinely starting over. No matter what you think you're going to do or what plan you have, if you move into a town, you're starting all over. And there is a certain imprint vulnerability that brings its own anxiety as well. Culture shock is another example. And again, when you figure out how to manage the force of your anxiety, you figure it out quite a bit. Because anxiety is how we react to reaching our threshold of uncertainty. Second circuit shock, get lost. I mean, really. Explore some area of the city or some area. I mean, don't do it foolishly, you know, have like a cell phone or something just in case, but if there's any possibility of just, you know, for an afternoon, finding a way to genuinely get lost so you can feel the survival anxiety that just kind of kicks in, and you have this sense of, okay, having to orient, who am I and where am I, what am I doing? It's kind of a wonderful awakening that it's easy to lose track of. The wonderful thing about being lost is I think it may also reflect or resonate with a larger universal expression of who we are as human beings. Why are we here? You have any clues? I think we are lost. So, you know, get used to it. You know, use it, play with it.